So the higher the NQF level of your degree, the more intellectually skilled you are, well, in academic sense anyway. An international student is a student who is originally not from South Africa and they are not a citizen of South Africa, but they might or might not have studied in South Africa. So in this video, I'll be talking about the qualification evaluation process that an international student who studied their high school undergraduate degree outside of South Africa has to go through for them to apply for university in South Africa. If you're an international student but you did your matric in South Africa, you do not qualify for this process. Please note that this process takes a couple weeks to a couple months. You'll be required to provide these exemption certificates when you're applying for university. As a result, you should not delay to get this process started, or it will delay the rest of your university application. Also note that there are costs involved, but please visit the USAF and the SAQA evaluation offices or their websites for more information regarding that. So USAF is the Universities of South Africa, but was formerly known as the Higher Education of South Africa, or HESA, and SAQA is the South African Qualification Authority. So evaluation of your international qualifications is for the Higher Education Department in South Africa to determine the level of learning attained and also what level that qualification is on the National Qualification Framework, or NQF levels in South Africa. In South Africa, we have what is known as NQF levels. There are 10 levels of learning achievement, which define what the degree will teach the student and enable you to do in terms of intellectual and academic skills, including problem-solving abilities and learner autonomy. So every registered South African qualification has an NQF level assigned to it. For example, when you finish high school, your National Senior Certificate is an NQF level 4, and you need an NQF level 4 for you to enter into a tertiary institution, and every single year of your tertiary institution education is an NQF level higher. So first year would be NQF level 5, second year 6, etc., etc. And as a result, when you graduate after the 4 years, your bachelor degree will be at an NQF level 8, and then your master's would be at an NQF level 9, and then your doctorate would be at an NQF level 10. So the higher the NQF level of your degree, the more intellectually skilled you are, well, in academic sense anyway. However, not every single country in Africa or in the world has the same learning levels, even if you're doing the same degree. As a result, SAQA and USAF tries to equate or tries to compare the different qualifications that are happening between the different countries and tries to equate them to a South African level. As a result, then you should take the learning qualification level of your international qualification and compare it to a South African qualification, because you need a certain NQF level for you to enter a tertiary education. So if your qualification level in your country is lower than what is required for you to enter into a tertiary education, then you would not be able to do that, and obviously they would guide you on how to bridge that gap to make sure that you have the appropriate NQF level to enter a tertiary education. Okay, so now we will look at the different evaluation bodies and look at them individually and the roles that they play in evaluation of your international qualifications. We will first start with USAF. This process is for international applicants who are wishing to register for first degree studies in South Africa. So this is for students who have just left high school and they've got a school leaving certificate, you've finished your A levels, or you've completed your matric, or whatever your high school leaving certificate is called, and you're wishing to study for an undergraduate degree in South Africa. So your school leaving certificate needs to be evaluated by the matriculation board, but before applying to USAF, you must go on their website. They've got an assessment tool which allows you to determine the strength of your application, and should you qualify for your exemption with the matriculation board, then they'll provide you with steps to go forward on your exemption process. So the link is down below in the description box if you'd like to go through that assessment tool. Next is the evaluation of foreign qualifications with USAF. This process is for international applicants who wish to apply for admission for postgraduate higher education programs in South Africa using their international foreign qualifications. Please note that if you want to study an undergraduate degree in South Africa but you hold an undergraduate degree from a foreign country, you need to go through SAQA to evaluate your undergraduate degree. You also need to go through the matriculation board to evaluate your school leaving certificate within USAF, even if you hold an undergraduate degree. So if you have an undergraduate degree, you still need to evaluate both your matric or your school leaving certificate and the undergraduate degree, and you need to have 2 certificates. Please note that this is my understanding of the evaluation process, and reality might be a little different. If you've gone through this process of the whole SAQA and USAF evaluation process, definitely comment down below and let us know what was your experience with it. My only job is just to make you aware of the type of admin that you have to go through if you're coming from another country in South Africa to study an undergraduate degree. So please contact USAF and SAQA on their websites to get further clarification on the information that you need. You can also visit your prospective university international student offices, and they would also be able to guide you on the different evaluation certificates that you need to have. In addition to this, please make sure that you have the appropriate study certificates that allow you to study at a tertiary education. This means that you need to either have your refugee status, your permanent residence, or a study permit, and this is separate from your SAQA and your USAF evaluation certificates. And please make sure that this study permit is valid for at least 4 years or does not require you to renew it within the next 2 years. And I get these questions a lot, and I'm going to answer them here. 1, how did I get my study permit? I applied for my study permit when I was still in high school. I was in grade 10. As a result, the high school where I was at, they wrote a letter for me that specified that I was at that high school when I started and when I was planning to graduate, and I used that as motivation for me to get a study permit, and I've constantly been renewing it through my whole high school and my undergraduate program. And the second question that I get is, how did I go through the whole SAQA and USAF evaluation? Unfortunately or fortunately, I did not have to go through any of those processes because I did my high school in South Africa. As a result, I hold a South African National Senior Certificate, and as a result, I do not need to get exempt for it. But please note that if you are a student like myself who studied their high school in South Africa, when you apply at universities and you enter that you are student from South Africa, the system is going to register you as an automatic international student, and the university might require you to provide this evaluation certificate from SAQA and USAF. So you will have to email them and contact them to make sure that they remove that log out of your application, because that was an issue that I ran into. You can watch my application story of a year where I explained that whole process. So it is very important that you make sure that the International Student Office and application offices understand that you did your matric in South Africa. So I wish you all the best with these application processes that you're going to be going through. And if you have any questions, I will try my best to answer the questions that you guys will have. But unfortunately, if I cannot answer any of them, I will have to direct you to the USAF and SAQA website, because they will be best to advise you. I'm only here to make you aware of the admin that you have to go through, because it is one of the processes that us as international students have to go through during our whole road to university series that I'm going through. So I'm just here to make you aware of the extra admin that as an international student you have to go through. So until next week Friday at 12 p.m. South African time, have an awesome one. Bye guys.